and welcome to our second annual virtual Cocktails and Castoffs at Home Party. I'm Madison James, your host or co-host, because I couldn't do it without Sarah. She's behind the vision of DIG.
And I'm Sarah Koch. I'm the executive director and founder of DIG, and I wouldn't do this without Madison James.
Thank you so much.
Somehow she makes me feel comfortable in front of a camera. That is not an easy thing to do.
Oh my goodness. Well, we're excited for you guys joining us here this evening, and also those on the West Coast. May not be evening yet, but anywho, our idea this year, we're going to create community. We wanted to have an intimate community setting, and that's why all you guys had those big, nice boxes. We'll get to details about that later. And you've set up your spread, hopefully looking, gorgeous like this. I can't wait to dig in on it. But last year we raised over $160,000, and this year our goal is $150,000.
Yeah. Our goal last year was 150, and you guys were so generous, and we did 160. Our goal this year is still 150, but if you want to do 160,
we'll take it. We'll take it, okay? We'll take it.
We really wanted this year's event to create a sense, like she said, a sense of community. So all of your box items, if you got them or if you just checked out the menu online, should have helped you create any kind of setting that felt good for you to share this event with your friends and family. And we're going to call out a few of our watch parties happening around the states, around the world, really. I want to give a wave to the Bernstein family out in Seattle, and Tom Graham and Bill Collison, who are hosting virtual watch parties tonight. I hope you guys are all tuning in and all of the technology that went into that is working out. I want to give a little shout out to the incredible group of supporters who have sponsored, this is their second garden, they have sponsored in honor of Alan Silverman, who's one of our board members, our founding board members. Thank you to Mark and Lee and George and Susan and Lud and Joyce, Antonio, Ed, and so many others who have supported his garden. I hope you're all enjoying the watch party. I think you're doing it virtual as well. All of my Peace Corps Senegal people from a variety of years, from the 80s, from the 2000s, from the 70s. A big shout out to Bill Westwood and Ann McStay, who are some of our earliest supporters, have traveled with me to the gardens and are hosting a second garden this year for their NBA Aggies table. So it's so good to have you guys here. Thank you for your support.
We really do appreciate it. And this year, we're going to be visiting 3 countries. So we're going to be going to Kenya, Senegal, and Uganda. Yep. And Senegal has a special place to Sarah's heart, and we'll talk about that. Like I said, we're just about community, family, and wanting you guys to really get involved. And there may be some new people that are joining in with some of the families that are having their parties. Welcome.
Yes, welcome.
We're so glad, and we can't wait to share with you the many things that DIG is doing. So we got 2 cocktails. Let's get to the drinks. People want to hear about that. Tiffany Barrier with 2 cocktails. And this is a first this year. We have a culinary ambassador.
Yes. Chef Pierre Cham will be visiting us to talk a little bit about how he is really helping us bridge this local and global story, which I'm so personally interested in doing, particularly for this event tonight.
And Sarah's goal, again, raise $150,000, but what are we doing that's a little different? We really want to make sure people understand the community component.
Yeah, that connection, that it's not just about the supporting the work that DIG is doing abroad. It's also about becoming activists in our own kitchens and the choices that we make every day and how that matters to DIG's farmers around the world.
And we do appreciate it. So we could not do this without our chefs and our sponsors. So want to thank Tiffany Barrier, also Chef Pierre Cham, and also Yolele Foods, Chef Jennifer Hill Booker, also Ann Byrne, also Patrick Burr from Roots Kitchen and Cannery. Yes.
So good. That jam is so good.
Katie at Heaven Hill Distillery for those lovely things right there. Sap Hound Maple Syrup. And also, let me make sure I get this right. Is it Josh Rogat? Is that?
Oh, Jace Rogat.
Listen. Jace, my bad, Jace.
Jace out in Denver, Captain Notepad. Many of you got these. Jace provided all of the printing for these amazing cook zines and all of the printing in your boxes for free for DIG. Again, he does this every year, and he did it on a very tight deadline, like overnighted this to me to get it in time to get in those boxes. So thank you, Jace at Captain Notepad, for your gifts.
And you guys are watching us live. We do appreciate it. So we're going to be giving Instagram shout outs, Patty and Jim Wheeler watching, having a watch party. Thank you guys for checking in. And do we want to give a starting point where we are? Our goal tonight is to raise $150,000. which we will by the time this is over.
Already over halfway.
Yes, we are.
We have over $78,000 raised right now. We have an hour. I'm hoping this event will just be an hour. We'll see how long it takes us to get there, but we're going to get there tonight. I know. I also have some people that I want to thank. The content producers for this event. I am not alone. We are not alone up here. I first want to thank Madison James, who drove in from Charlotte today to be here.
I would not miss it. Would not miss it. Been with you guys for 3 years, 4 years?
5
It's been
years,
a lot.
I don't know, three or 4 years.
Yeah.
So glad that she's here. I want to thank again for these beautiful cook zines, Lindsay Charles, Heather Troutman, Susan Puckett, who did amazing editing, and David Tauster to make sure these look beautiful. And I'm so proud of them and so proud of all of the folks who helped put them together. Marshall Protzman, who put together all of the live content that you're seeing and the recorded content. Marshall has been working really hard to bring a great event to us tonight, and his volunteer that he has helped, Zach Piles, he's been pulled into this event for 2 years now, and we're so glad to have him. I want to give a quick shout out to the videographers in the countries where we filmed. We obviously didn't take film crews over to these countries, and so we've been working with local filmmakers, and they did beautiful work capturing the interviews and the gardens. So thanks to Apinya Charles in Kenya, Bashild Promota in Uganda, and Paul Amanga in Senegal. Your footage is beautiful. I can't wait to show you all. And Wandia and Anthony Mabuvi here in Atlanta, who did all the voiceover work for our stories. There are a few other friends I want to thank. Beth Pan and David Perry for hosting us again. This is now
Thank you so much.
This is now the Dig Kitchen.
Kitchen.
This is where we do this event. Steve Dojnik and Dana Dojnik for doing all of the cooking. I could not have mentally handled cooking today.
This is so amazing.
Steve and Dana did all of our prep kitchen work, so thankful for them. Emmanuel Anglican Church, who donated all of the gear we needed to bring this event to you live. A shout out to Tom Graham, who traveled to Senegal to get from the tailors these awesome cocktail napkins. Thank you for that. Leslie, Bonnie, Meredith, my husband David, who all showed up at my house, and Heather to prepare all of the boxes. We had some great boxing parties. My parents, who drove the Saphound maple syrup all the way down from Maine.
Oh, wow.
Don and Sue Koch, Christina Dana, and Marshall, Matt Spalding, who are here tonight helping make this event possible. So thank you guys.
Well, I'm excited to get things started. I know Sarah is. And Sarah, can you give us a little bit more detail in what grounds Dig?
Yeah, I know there's a lot of you who are totally new to Dig, and I'm excited that you're here. And I just want to kind of ground you in what is the work that we do. We believe that food is this incredible place to gather and solve so many of the world's biggest problems, challenges that we have today, based on how we grow that food, how we consume that food, how we share that food with others. Dig really believes that we can do a lot to change the world just by focusing on food. We prioritize uniquely vulnerable groups of people. So these are groups that are often left behind from other development opportunities because they're really hard to reach. And what I mean by vulnerable groups, I'm talking about the elderly, people living with physical disabilities, children with chronic malnutrition, young mothers. You'll meet a lot of the different groups that we're working with. That is sort of Dig's sweet spot. That's who we prioritize and where your donations are going to go to serving. I'm going to take a breath.
It's okay. You're with family. You're with family, Sarah.
It's not any easier live or recorded. I hate public speaking. Yeah, here I am.
Everybody just sent you like heart emojis and a lot of love. You're here with family.
But one thing that I really celebrate about Dig's work is that we are adaptive. So all of those different groups of people that we're working with means that we need to shift how we show up in the field to meet their needs. And we actually co-design solutions with those groups to make sure that when we're working with someone who's living with a physical disability, we change our program to meet them where they are. That's a big part of why we're successful, really. And we have worked in 8 African countries over the last 15 years. I don't know where the time has gone, but we've prioritized Kenya, Uganda, and Senegal, and you're going to get to visit all of them tonight. And I hope that you'll see that these farmers who graduate through our program are not only better equipped to provide for their families, they're growing regenerative gardens to address their nutrition, their food security, their livelihoods and social cohesion. So they're not only better equipped to provide for themselves and their families, they're actually a tremendous resource to their broader communities. And I hope that all comes through tonight when you get to see our films.
And this
I know,
beautiful
the food
spread
is so
right
good.
here. I wish I could say I did
We couldn't
this.
eat it until this event started. I think we should eat it.
And I've been waiting to eat it. We want to sit here and reference Chef Jennifer Booker with the dip,
Oh, the spice dip is so
the
good.
spice dip. Also,
So good.
we have Ann Bird's Dig Cake, which Sarah and I did not do.
It's coming.
But if we did, I don't know if it would look like this, but.
Dana did a great job. And then we got Chef Pierre's fonio croquettes. There's so much good food. We're going to dive into all that. Yeah, one thing I want to make sure comes across is this connection that we have
Yes.
between here and there. And I've talked to many of you about it, this idea that this is not about us over here and our farmers over there, that this is actually connected. We're all part of these systems, these food systems. And DIG is working, and your donations are helping us support some of the most vulnerable producers in the world. But we have this incredible power, a collective power as consumers to change how the system is designed. And I hope tonight that you have some takeaways of how you can actually not only give to DIG to support the producers, but use your power as a consumer to make choices that are going to help heal that system.
And our goal, like Sarah said tonight, is to help you better understand, because we have some new people that are tuning in, that are at these amazing parties, just to help kind of tie in what DIG is doing and the amazing things they're doing. Like, we've got to shout out our donors, Carla Mill, also Corey Jones,
Thank
and now
you,
we're up to
guys.
79,000. We're gonna get 160.
Almost to 80. We're almost to 80. I like round numbers.
Okay. In 5 minutes, we'll be at 80. How about that? I'm sorry. I do that. I'm sorry. Sarah doesn't like it when I do that, but my bad.
Better her than me.
But anywho, make sure you guys are sharing your experiences, because we want to see it. We want to be able to shout out those of you, because everyone is watching this around the world, not just here with us in Atlanta, but they're all over the country. So make sure you do the hashtag cocktails and castoffs. Also, share it with us at Real Life Dig. We'd like to see
Reap
Life Dig.
Don't do real life. I don't know what you'll find.
Reap Life Dig. You can
Not
also
figures on
tag
there.
that too, which is on Facebook and Instagram. And what's key, the number I need you guys to remember is the number to donate. Text to. Okay, we had 86.
86.
See, Sarah? I told you we would get 85 minutes. Okay,
Okay, I like round numbers. Let's get to 90.
We do appreciate that. Keep the donations coming
Thank
in.
you.
Just text to us 44321 to donate. That's 44321 to donate.
Thank you, Tony Vigil, for donating and for hosting that amazing party, which I know you've worked hard to set. I think it's time for a drink. I personally could use one.
Sarah's ready for her Tiffany Barrier cocktail.
Let's do it. Let's go. Let's meet Tiffany, the amazing mixologist, to bring us our Waste Not, Want Not Whiskey Jam.
Hi everyone, it's me, Tiffany Barrier, your drinking coach, and we've been doing this for some time. I believe this is my 7th or 8th, or I don't know how many years, I'm not counting, to be with you, but I so enjoy this event every year with DIG, and I'm so happy to give you something to enjoy and also make a toast to this year for our amazing, amazing fundraiser. I'm thirsty. I'm always thirsty, but there's something about the cocktails that I make that bring me a lot of joy, and that's being able to use every ingredient from the beginning to the end. And this cocktail inspired me because unfortunately in the States, about 40% of the food that we eat, we sometimes waste, and are not able to use it. And so our fruits and our vegetables, our flowers, we need to really kind of gather some love on preserving them, pickling them, even planting the seed into our compost so we can grow it on for the next year. And that helped me out with our next cocktail from Roots Kitchen. There's a beautiful, beautiful lavender and blueberry jam that spot on gives us the flavor that we love. So let's just get into it. If you have not opened this jar and give it a smell, you're missing out. Don't be afraid to dab your finger in there instantly. You're getting that fresh flower and those berries, and that's what we want to feel when we're preserving something and saving it from its beginning all the way to its end. I'm gonna open that jar up. Be very careful not to stain anything, and get your favorite shaker, whatever you're gonna shake in, even a mason jar. In the recipe, I called for 1 tablespoon, but I'm thinking we could do 2. looking at that consistency, and again, this is your cocktail, so it's all up to your flavor. I think 1 or 2, or you know what, 3. And when you're done with this jar, you can actually make a cocktail in this jar, shake it up, and preserve some more. Be careful with that spoon there and that jam. We'll get a fresh lemon. If lemon isn't your thing, choose a lime, choose an orange, or a grapefruit. But what we really want to do to this sweetness is get a little bit of sourness, some acid. I'm just slicing that in half, squeezing it right inside. Don't worry about those seeds. You'll be fine, but you know what you can do with those seeds later, right? You know the story, you know how it goes. I'm squeezing that entire half of lemon inside. This does not go in the trash can. We know what to do, right? Let's use that spoon and incorporate these 2 flavors. Just kind of give it a spin there so you can see that lemon juice touch the jam. Sweet and sour meeting each other perfectly. If you're not in the mood to drink tonight, don't worry. You can add some ice into this, give it a nice shake, and top it into your favorite glass. Maybe a little bit of club soda, or drink it as is. But if you are in the mood, we treated you with our great donation from our friends at Heaven Hills. A little bit of brown goodness from Kentucky. 2 ounces will be fair. If you want to shy that back, by all means. If you're making this for more than 2, double up on that. But be sure to double up on that jam and also the lemon. And we'll add some ice right inside. That good ice to get some dilution into the cocktail. And while we're at it, making this a beautiful cocktail, let's get our favorite glass. You can go in a tall glass. You can go in your big favorite wine glass. You know me, I want something large. And we need that so we can get the movement of the sweet and the sour and the whiskey to go together. And I'm just gonna put some ice in that glass while I'm already in the process of putting it in my shaker. This is where we get fancy, everyone. I wanna see you make these great cocktails and some great photos and some hashtags to shake it up for tonight. We'll give that a good shake. Oh, that sound. Oh, that sound does well. Look at that gorgeous color. Now, usually when we're making a cocktail that calls for some kind of effervescence or bubbles, we usually ask for the bubbles to be on top, but we're not going to do that this time. We're actually going to put the bubbles in the bottom. There's a whole lot of energy that goes into sparkling water that I think can take on any shaken content. So we're going to fill our favorite glass with half of the bubbles. I love that sound. And then we'll put our shaken contents right on top. There's so much oxygen in there that once we pour our shaken content, it will take on our shaken content easily without even stirring. Check that out. We can still see the seeds inside. You can still get that flavor. Now, I called for an extra flavor of herb inside because the lavender needed a little bit of bump there, but you can either toss your favorite herb inside and shake it, or you can take your favorite herb from your garden that you've been growing, give it a nice little swath there, and stick it right on top. Waste not, want not, whiskey jam. Cheers to us all.
What an amazing, amazing demonstration from Chef Tiffany Berry. She's always amazing. What she comes up with is so amazing. And then she's always educating too as she makes the drinks. 40% of our food
that we produce
for
consumption
is wasted.
And that's having a pretty devastating impact on our climate, which is directly impacting our farmers. So the food that we throw away does matter to more than just wasted money. It has a big impact.
And another way is dig again. This is about community. This is about tying in, not just what we're doing here. It impacts like globally. Like Sarah said and Tiffany said, with 40% of the food waste, and ways that you can kind of extend, I guess that'd be the right word, extend things in your house, like the canning that was used. Big thanks to Roots Kitchen and Cannery. They have their blueberry lavender jam, which is very delicious.
I can't get to this soon enough. Can we please just
Sarah needs a drink.
I just really think this cocktail is amazing.
Thank you to Tiffany and also Katie at Heaven Hill Distillery.
So good. So good.
I forgot. Do a little garnish.
Yes. Put
Here,
some
there
of
you
that.
go. There you go. A little basil.
Cheers to our Denver watch parties. We have so many of you guys. We've got Tony Tilden, Jace, Chad, Lonnie, Craig, all up at Porch Light watching together. Well, Tony and Tilden are in Tony's house, which I know is a good time. Sarah Narum and Sarah Chaplin, thank you so much for meeting your table goals. Sarah Narum, I love how you matched everybody's gifts. Thank you so much. Mark Colvin, all of you, and so many others in Denver. Cheers to you. We got some watch parties here in Georgia. We got Tom and Chris McGuire up in Big Canoe. I know Tom has been slicing up, well, Tom and Chris both have been working hard on their menu tonight. Shout out to Susan Puckett, who inspired the very first Cocktails and Castoffs event. She always does so much work. Cheers to you, Susan.
Thank you.
Dana and Steve Dojnik, thank you guys so much again for all this beautiful spread. We've got Wandia and Anthony hosting a few people at their house. Beth Pan, she's actually hosting us, and her and David are hosting us in this house.
She has 2 host parties here.
Cheers to you guys. Cheers to you guys. Thanks for hosting watch
so
parties
much.
and for sponsoring Dig.
Let me have some little more.
So good. So good.
We're going to try not to drink too much because we have to stay on camera. So
that's why I'm going to drink too much probably.
So we got Kenya, which will be the next country that we're traveling to. And preservation is just as important, but we're going to talk about seeds.
Yeah, so what I love, Dig does a lot of work to help our farmers reduce their food loss, how they can extend the shelf life of their produce that they harvest. But another piece that we try and stress is the preservation of seeds, indigenous and local seed varieties. And you're gonna meet 3 farmers who are working in Kenya, representing different vulnerabilities, different groups that we're working with, the elderly, young mothers, people living with HIV. But they've all become known in their communities for being expert seed savers. And seed saving is one of those critical pieces to achieving food sovereignty. It's probably the key to food sovereignty. And these women are incredible, and they represent just a unique way that they're helping rebalance their local food system. So before we go, I want to make sure I thank our Kenya team. Our Kenya team is our longest running team, led by Olivia Nyedo, and we have a team of local facilitators there who are incredible. They have adapted our program to work with a whole host of different communities with different needs. And they're just, I can't say better things. Many of you who are watching tonight have had the opportunity to meet them in person, and I hope that one day soon we'll be traveling again and you can join me. I want to also thank some of our partners in Kenya, Agris, Project Redwood, longtime supporter of Dig, TCP Global, and Seed Money. All have had direct support for our work in Kenya. So thank you guys so much.
We really do appreciate it. And don't forget, it's located in the right-hand corner of your screen. You can text DIG to 44321. And I got to shout out our sponsors. Again, thank you, chefs, sponsors, everyone involved, and also our donors. We have some
Eric and
donors.
Brent, thank you guys so much for your incredibly generous gift. I knew you were going to give. I just didn't know when. Thank you for keeping the tension live and bringing it tonight. Cynthia Davies, one of my Peace Corps friends, traveled to Kenya with me. Thank you so much for your monthly donation. So appreciated up in Maine.
We need Cynthia to tell us some stories. Cynthia, you have some good stories?
Oh, good stories. I say let's just get on with it. Let's go to Kenya.
Let's go to Kenya.
This is Mrs. Olande, Mary Ajiemo, and Mrs. Sharon. These women are all graduates of DIG's Farmer Field School in Western Kenya. Through the DIG program, they learned to grow a diversity of nutrient-rich fruits and vegetables. Their gardens help them feed their families, provide them with a steady income, and enrich their land. Each woman has a very unique history and motivation that brought them to DIG. And they've all become known for one thing: saving seeds.
Ayiero ahinya mar kodhi nikech aseloko kothe to naneno ni kodhini aneno ka en gimoro ma kata loke to kabiro kode chiro.
Seed saving is part of DIG's core training, and the importance of this essential practice can't be stressed enough. Biodiversity on farms has been declining for decades, and mass cash cropping is threatening to wipe out indigenous knowledge that has been locally cultivated over generations. These women have become known as expert seed savers.
Akano kodhi mar bando. Akano kodhi mar ng'or mar alot bo. To loso maler kosewang'o maler to chungo gi gimoro ni tengu. Tengu ne mano yieko go koseyieko go to omoyo kodhi kosemoyo kodhi to obuko go kodhi. Koro ne en agulni mani chweyo mag lowo.
The seeds Mrs. Olande is saving, like many of the nutrient-dense crops vital to DIG's program, are not mass-manufactured or sold in most agricultural stores. Dominant food systems of today trend towards cash crops with ready markets as opposed to what is nutritious or indigenous. In Kenya, cash crops like maize, tea, sugarcane, cotton, and coffee have replaced heritage foods that fed people for generations.
Nyadi mang'eny ne wahero nyiewo gik moko taon, gimoro kaka nyanya, yani dhano ne nyalo tiyo gi pesa nyaka gik mane dhano nyalo loso to yude loo.
While it has been argued that cash crop provide farmers with access to global markets, cash crop monopolies exploit smallholder farmers and leave them dependent on manufactured seeds, chemical pesticides, inorganic fertilizers, and take productive land away from more nutritious food production. This cycle of dependency sinks farmers deeper into poverty and leaves them more vulnerable to climate change and shifting corporate agendas. The work of local seed savers is critical not only to their own household benefit, but also for the benefit of the broader community and the long-term survival of these local plants.
To en gima osetuo makane akana, ok en gima dhi puko. Koro mano miyo naneno ka noberna nikech koro ok omiya lal ahinya.
Because these seeds are saved from the healthiest plants over time, they are the most weather tolerant and appropriate seeds for the local context. It's a form of indigenous crop insurance that promises success for generations. But Mary's seed business provides another benefit to her community. She sells her seeds in small quantities, which makes them more accessible to resource-poor farmers.
Mimi agrobet go ber nikech anyalo timo kwa mfano sikuma ni. Sikuma jomoko tiyo sikuma ma wauso kani nikech samoro gineno ni.
Most agricultural stores sell seeds in fixed quantities. This can limit a farmer's ability to buy a large variety of seeds. Mary's business model promotes local farm diversity.
Tuokoro kunya makira kitiyo gi atiba. Nyalo riwe ga por kata susa titede go. Kose ok nya yudore duka. Wane mantie kaka walose.
Around the globe, women are often the glue that holds families together. They are responsible for feeding the family, caring for the children, and providing for their education. DIG is working to better position women to make key financial decisions and ensure their families' needs are met.
Nyadi mang'eny DIG oseloko kit ngimana nyaka nachak donjo puonj mar DIG. Ngimana kaka ng'ama miyo lokruok mokelo ngimana, anyalo puro moko kaka anyalo puro alot.
By creating opportunities for women to earn money and directly contribute to household income, they gain decision-making power within their homes and communities, paving the way towards gender equality.
Gini konyowa e ot nikech nyadi mang'eny e ot ok de ubed ka utiyo ute. Koro samoro wuon parwa samoro odhi tich to koyudo to an ase usalot na cham kaka DIG no puonja ase puro ma us.
Like the local seeds that are saved and passed from neighbor to neighbor, DIG's teachings are designed to be shared. On average, for every farmer DIG trains, he or she goes on to train 3 others. This self-propagating model happens without additional investment or time from DIG. Food sovereignty starts with access to diverse open source seeds and flourishes with the natural sharing of local knowledge and demonstrated success.
Onyalo kelo. Onyalo miyo anyalo interact gi mine mamoko sama gibiro waro alot. Onyalo miyo samoro abedo gi mine moko ka gitemo penya kaka pidho alot.
What an amazing video. I hope you guys are just seeing the work that Dig is doing, Sarah. It's just amazing where it's come over the years and now seeing how important seeds are. Like, you don't think about it, but if you think about it, nothing could grow without seeds. We couldn't have any of the plants. We couldn't have any of our vegetables. We couldn't have any of that if it weren't for seeds.
Yeah, and I'm just so proud of our Kenya team. You guys do amazing work. We have been working in Kenya for 8 years. I think it's 8 years now. And it's incredible. Olivia will tell you about the transformation of the local markets that she has seen. You know, since we started working, there is new produce, varieties of produce that were never there before. We have farmers growing during the dry season. We have women teaching their husbands how to work in the field and actually bringing them into the garden work, which is really transformative.
Yes.
I'm so proud of that team.
And again, don't forget to text because the goal is here. I know you guys like watching us on camera, but we're here to raise money for Dig. Okay, we're trying to get over $150,000. We're already at $93,000 already. We're like halfway in. Not even that far. So in the right-hand corner of your screen, you see text Dig 44321. Again, text Dig 44321 right there in the corner of your screen. I'm like doing it like, you know, I can kind of see it, but you guys know what I'm talking about. Text, really do appreciate it. We've got some donors. We want to thank Mark Colvin.
Mark Colvin, founding board member, longtime supporter, been
Thank
to many
you.
of our countries. Thank you so much out in Denver. And Eric and Brent, who donated again. Thank you guys so much. And also a huge thanks to all the anonymous donors. There's a lot of folks who have made donations, you know, in the last couple weeks and tonight that are not naming themselves. I don't know how to thank you other than to just say I am incredibly grateful. We are all incredibly grateful for your support.
And let's thank our community sponsors. Do you want to roll and
Yeah,
thank some of those?
we have-
While she's doing that, I'm going to eat. Y'all been dying. I'm going to get into
It looks too pretty to eat, but
Chef
it's
Jennifer
good.
Booker's dip.
Yes. I want to thank our country sponsors, Amy and Joel Cunningham. So grateful for your support, and I am totally taking you up on that box of goodies you're going to send me from your farm in San Diego, please. Bill Westwood, thank you for your support. Dennis Heskel and Tricia Bowditch, thank you so much for your generosity. Scott Carino and Will Mallory, thank you. And Esther and Chris Crane, you guys have been incredibly generous to Dig over this year and years before. Thank you so much. I also want to thank John Snyder and Miles Berger, who made a very generous gift and then got it matched by their employer. So if anybody hasn't thought about that, it's a great way to double your gift. Tom and Chris McGuire, again, thank you so much for your generosity. Tom Graham, he just got back from Senegal where he was working in our gardens and hosted a virtual watch party and also made an incredibly generous gift to Dig. Wim DePaw, thank you so much. Metro Fresh here in Atlanta is going to be sponsoring a garden. Billy and Eric, thank you so much for your gift.
We really do appreciate it. And I did like the what you're not supposed to eat on camera. I'm going to continue to eat on camera because it's so good. You've got these chips right here. The Yolele chips, which I just ate with Chef Jennifer Booker's dip. And how does this all tie in? We have our first ever chef ambassador. Sarah's like, what is Madison about to say?
I don't know. Our culinary ambassador, Pierre Cham, who...
Yes, he's a cookbook author. He is a New York City best chef. He is a restaurateur. He's a entrepreneur. He's doing a lot of things, but what really ties him in is his story about what he's doing in West Africa.
Yeah.
And with the markets there.
Chef Pierre is a Senegalese chef, all of those things that she just said, social entrepreneur, ambassador of many things. But what I love about him is that he is putting a stake in the ground when it comes to promoting biodiversity through his fonio grain, which I've been told not to lift this up too high because it gets too bright. But those of you who
I'll hold it.
Okay, just
Just
make it
another
not
reason
so,
for me to eat.
don't make it's just so good. He's working with smallholder farmers in West Africa to bring this grain out into, to help us rediscover this ancient grain and value it in our global economy. And it kind of reminds me of the women working in Kenya, saving seeds. This is a rediscovery of something that has been for forever. And it's time for us to value and cherish this diversity of food. And we were really fortunate to have Chef Pierre visit us in Senegal a few months back. And he has filmed a little mention for us tonight. And I invite you to take a listen to Chef Pierre. Oh my gosh, we're so close.
Greetings. My name is Pierre Chiam, and I'm a chef, a cookbook author, and a restaurateur, and a social entrepreneur. While DIG is working with the most vulnerable farming communities in Africa to improve their access to nutrient-dense food and to face the challenges of climate change, increase their income through the gardens, I'm here to share with you how we can all support DIG's work by becoming activists in our own kitchen. Indeed, we all have a responsibility to the planet and to, as Sarah says, steward our resources in a more sustainable way. I'm a chef, an international chef from Senegal, but I'm also an advocate and an activist. With my food brand Yolele, we work with small farming communities of Africa to open a global market for their product and increase their income this way. Fonio is an incredible little grain that has been grown for over 5,000 years in Africa. It is believed to be the oldest cultivated grain in Africa. For those of you who received the Sweet Harvest Party Box, I hope you had the chance to try my recipe of fonio croquettes or just taste the snacks, the moringa fonio chips with maybe Chef Jennifer Hill's book of spice dip. Fonio is a complex and gluten-free grain that is nutritionally superior to the more simple carbs like rice or corn. The farmers DIG is working with are particularly vulnerable to climate change. So a lot of what DIG is teaching them are techniques and strategies to become climate resilient. Fonio is a perfect complement to these efforts as it grows well in poor soil and is reliable even during periods of drought. Part of becoming climate resilient is also to farm in a way that gives back to the soil. During a recent visit to DIG's project in Castoffs, I was so happy to see that they practice regenerative type of agriculture, an agriculture that not only gives back to the soil, but thinks about the future generations, that improve the soil for those generations. Fonio is a grain very much in line with those practices, as it has deep roots that adds nutrients to the soil and that help regenerate the soil. And this is something that farmers around the world need to pay attention to. As consumers, we have the power to choose foods and products that strengthen our local and global food system. Choosing grains like fonio that promote biodiversity, support the livelihoods of small farmers, boost nutritional well-being, preserve cultural heritage, and so much more is just one thing you can do right at home to make this planet a better place for all of us. DIG is doing incredible work to support our world's most vulnerable farmers. Let's join them with our donations, but also by using our collective power as consumers to choose good food. Choose ingredients that are grown in a sustainable way with the health of the planet in mind. Celebrate biodiversity in our food system. Invest in the true cost of food and thus support the livelihoods of farmers. Reduce your food waste. Shift to a more plant-based diet. And join me in being an activist for more nutritious food for everyone. Thank you.
What an amazing video from
so great.
our chef. He's so great. And these are the croquettes.
So good.
Y'all see a trend here. I eat while Sarah talks. Sarah's like, what
I
is
better
she
think
doing?
about that before I put this in my mouth.
But as Chef talked about, just maybe some reconsideration on how you're doing with your diet or how you're doing to help like lower food waste, and maybe a more plant-based diet, add more vegetables to your diet, and to help reduce food waste and invest.
I love this part, like investing in the true cost of food. If we want a just food system, then we need to be paying our farmers livable wages.
Yes.
So important.
And if anything, we could see anything clear from what's going on now, like what post-pandemic, and now people, these farmers are great because we can get local food here instead of dealing with food shortages that we have going on. So again, like we've said from the beginning, all of this is full circle, right?
Yeah.
We're creating communities from here all the way to our countries in Africa. And I can't wait to say this part. We're over 100K. So now we're 50K from our goal.
Amazing.
50K. Really, I mean 60K because we really want to beat last year. But we're 50K. Sarah just loves it when I do that. We're 50K from our goal. We want to thank some more donors. We have, what is that, Sarah?
Sarah Narum, thank you. She's one of our table hosts. She's already met her table goal, and I'm so grateful that you would give again. And Diane Quest, thank you so much. You've been giving to Dig several times for the last few years. Thank you so much. And Ann Michelson, thank you very much.
No, I'm just eating. Sorry.
I have a few other supporters that I want to thank. Becky Bartline and Carl Petrillo out in Seattle. Thank you for your gift. Becky is also going to get that matched by her employer. So thank you so much. I'm so sorry your box didn't arrive in time. I don't know what happened, but Lauren and I will track it down and we will make sure you get that box as soon as possible. Thank you to Brian Vogue for your gift. You've been supporting Dig since it was just a seed of an idea. So thank you so much, Brian. And Stephanie and Mike Kaplan, you have also been a part of this work since the very beginning. Close friends, good supporters. They love to give stock, which I think is a great way to support Dig if you haven't thought about that before. So thank you to you guys. Also want to thank just all of you as individuals. Most of you are unrestricted donors, and that allows us to be responsive and adaptive in the field to needs where we see them, and that is invaluable to an organization like Dig. But there are a few foundation partners who are as trust-based givers as well. So Joseph Suh, Charitable Works, thank you so much to your just support that you give to Dig, and Cliff Bar Family Foundation. We all love Cliff Bar.
Oh, yes.
My children eat them regularly. They have been a longtime supporter of Dig and are very much a trust-based funding partner. So thank you so much to that.
And I got to shout out my Instagram fam. Also Danielle, thank you for posting your party you're having, your watch party too. We really do appreciate it. Also donation coming in from Joe
McCullough, another watch party in Denver.
Oh, Denver, yes.
Yes, thank you, Joe. Joe has traveled to Africa with me, 3 times, 2 times? He brought his mom. He's always, we're going to travel again soon, I promise. I hope.
And speaking of that, we're about to go to, is it fair to say that every country is important to Sarah, but Senegal
holds
a special
place. I was in Peace Corps in Senegal, and many of our viewers have a connection to Senegal. It's where the idea of Dig started. And the story that we're going to see about our work in Senegal really brings up the need for our local food systems to be adaptive. Madison just talked about how supply chains for us in the States are challenging right now. I apparently need to start buying Christmas gifts today to get them in time before the holidays. But it's true for everywhere. If we are depending on supply chains that are all over the place, when there are disruptions, it has major impacts. And so this story about our work in Senegal is to talk about how our farmers are helping kind of heal that divide. They are showing up not only for their families, but they are becoming tremendous resources for their broader communities. So I want to thank a couple of our partners in Senegal, Rise Against Hunger. We would not have had the opportunity to go back to this country, which means so much to me, without their partnership, and the University of Washington Senegal Research Center. You guys have been tremendous partners in getting us into Senegal. We also have tremendous partnership with several clinics, hospitals, and community centers there down in the southern part of Ziguinchor. We're so grateful for you all making our work in Senegal possible. So.
And keep the donations coming in. We're at $103,000
wow.
right now. So our goal tonight is $150,000. I know we're going to reach this before it is over. I will stay on camera until we reach this.
Thank you, Therese. I know where you are right now, and I know it's raining crazy, and you are supporting right now. Thank you for being at that watch party and supporting DIG.
Well, I say, let's go to Senegal.
Let's do it.
Does that work? Let's go.
In 2020, due to the COVID-19 pandemic, almost every country in the world saw a dramatic increase in hunger and household food insecurity. While the reasons for this varied from loss of income to labor shortages, disruptions to supply chains and production all pointed towards a food system built for efficiency and not wholeness. DIG works with some of the most vulnerable producers around the world. Our job is to increase their food security and nutritional well-being, as well as increase their resiliency so they can better cope with the shocks of climate change and global emergencies like COVID-19.
Je m'appelle Sekou Badji. Depuis 2019, je travaille avec DIG. Bon, pendant le Covid, c'était très dur au niveau du marché parce que le marché était fermé.
After more than a decade working in other countries, DIG returned to Senegal in 2019, thanks to a partnership with Rise Against Hunger. We are working alongside clinics, hospitals, and community centers in Ziguinchor to address urban food insecurity and malnutrition. Led by a team of local facilitators and staff, some of whom graduated through DIG's program years ago, DIG is co-designing solutions alongside the unique communities we serve.
Moi, c'est Anaïs Senghor. Mon rôle, c'est d'enseigner aussi des femmes comme moi, comme hommes. Qu'est-ce que c'est le fait de partager les expériences que j'ai eues, ce que je connais, mais aussi d'être en relation avec la communauté. Voir des femmes comme toi faire des jardins, appliquer.
Anaïs and DIG's team of local facilitators work directly with the community to develop agricultural solutions to meet their unique needs. When the pandemic hit, bustling markets closed, public and private transport shut down, and people's means of survival were threatened. Access to food was at the top of everyone's concerns.
Depuis, oui, ils avaient des problèmes de marché dans la communauté. Ils ont fait avec, mais c'était très, très difficile. Oui, c'était très difficile parce qu'il y avait il y avait les mesures barrières qu'il faut respecter. Il y avait le manquement de légumes aussi.
At the start of the pandemic, DIG had already trained close to 600 farmers in Senegal. These farmers were confidently using the DIG techniques to grow their urban home and group gardens. Many had expanded their regenerative garden efforts to launch market businesses and earn an income.
Sama jardin bi amal na ma njëriñ mais daf may permettre may am ay clients nga xam ne dañu ñëw jënd foofu.
Jardin bi man lépp laa ci bëgg.
When the pandemic shut down markets and restaurants, DIG farmers like Ferdinand and Cecile were prepared to fill in the gaps. Their gardens were no longer just a reliable source for food for their families. They became a critical resource for the entire community.
En créant des contacts, parce que DIG fait souvent des prospections dans les hôtels, aussi au marché. Et ils mettent en lien les commerçants et les producteurs, c'est-à-dire les bénéficiaires.
The DIG team worked with farmers to develop effective ways to get their produce where it was needed.
Bu marché bi tëjoon dañ daan jaay si gox gi des fois ñu oogaay mooy ñi jëndkat yi.
Oui, DIG a aidé les agriculteurs à vendre leurs produits dans les hôtels, comme dans les restaurants, mais dans les épiceries aussi. Mais quand les propriétaires des restaurants avaient vu que c'est des bons légumes, eux-mêmes, ils prenaient les contacts des agriculteurs. Eux-mêmes, ils appelaient.
DIG's work is rooted in resiliency. By nurturing an adaptive program model, celebrating local innovation, and encouraging community voices to lead, DIG is paving the way for more resilient local food systems.
ñun marché bu mu tëjee tiituñu ragaluñu parce que am nañu ay contact avec ñeneen ñi nga xam ne ñooñu dañuy ñëw pour jënd uniquement pour jënd.
DIG farmers are better able to withstand the shocks caused by climate change, market disruptions, and emergencies, and they are better equipped to support their broader communities in times of need. Among other things, the COVID-19 pandemic brought forward a global realization that healthy food is central to our lives. To withstand future emergencies, our food systems need to be strengthened by becoming more regenerative and locally resilient. DIG is proud of what our farmers are doing around the world to feed their families and communities. We are deeply grateful for and encouraged by the leadership of our local teams who find ways to adapt and grow opportunities even through the most unexpected situations.
What another amazing video. Big thank you again going out to our Senegal team. We really do appreciate, and the work they're doing is amazing, plus all of our countries too. Got to tell you this though, coming back from the Senegal video, we are now at $127,000. I don't do math, but we're a little bit closer to 150. Okay.
And if you just probably on your phone, refresh the page, you can see that thermometer change. Don't refresh it on whatever you're watching this on, but on some other device, you can refresh it and follow along with how close we are.
And don't forget too, right there, you can text DIG at 44321, right there in the right-hand corner. Our goal again tonight is $150,000.
We're gonna get there.
We are. We'll be here all night. I told Sarah, we're not cutting it off till we get there.
Don't make this torture last any longer than it has. No.
More for Sarah, though.
I do want to thank our Senegal team, Malamine, Sekou, Anais, who you met, Sekou and Anais, on the screen. Anais was actually one of the very first farmers that we trained in Senegal back in 2007. And when we came back to Senegal in 2018, she was still gardening with her group of people that she had learned from DIG from, and she was so motivated to keep going. We hired her on as one of our local facilitators, and she is an incredible facilitator for us, so grateful to her. Also, I had mentioned Tom Grand before, but Tom has been over to Senegal since we started back there several times. He just got back maybe yesterday or the day before. So thank you, Tom, for the unique work that you are doing with us in that country.
So Sarah, will you share with everyone what's next? What is DIG looking for Senegal? What's next? What's the next steps as you grow?
Yeah, Senegal is a challenging country to do agriculture in. For those of you who know what I'm talking about. It rains once a year. That rain comes for 4 months out of the year. So the stakes are high for farmers even in a good season. When you throw in all of the challenges of climate change and unpredictability of weather, it gets really challenging. We're also working in an urban part of the country. So a lot of the women that we're working with have really they've been disconnected from agriculture. And so our role there is to reconnect them with what they can do, where they are, to teach them climate resilient practices so that they can feed their families and earn an income. So our plan in Senegal is to keep doing what we're doing, keep working with the groups that we're working with, people living with HIV, young mothers, children who are malnourished, but we're also going to be adapting our program for some new groups that we haven't worked with before. We're going to be working with divorced women, which is a particularly stigmatized group of people in Senegal. And we're going to be working with women who've experienced gender-based violence. So we're excited to figure out how to adapt our program alongside them to meet their unique needs.
And that's a cool thing too. I just want to touch base on what DIG is doing, which is key. When you're sitting in your donations, DIG is constantly changing with the changing environments, finding ways to stay ahead of the curve, to see areas that need more attention than other areas. So I think that's really, really important. So think about that as you're doing your donation. They're continuing to grow.
Yeah, I hopefully you're seeing that a little bit in the different films, the country films that you're watching, that the landscape is very different. You know, where we're going next is Uganda, and that landscape is pretty dramatic and challenging in its own ways. Senegal, where we're working, is urban, dry, rain doesn't come often. Kenya, I mean, these are all very different landscapes. We're working with a wide variety of unique populations who are often not given these opportunities. Yeah. And one of the ways we mark our success is how successful we can adapt our program, but also, sorry, I heard some background noise.
Stay focused, Sarah. You got it, Sarah. They love this. Sarah, the whole Dig community loves you. They know this is not Sarah's happy place to be in front of the camera. She's doing amazing. And since I said I can't do math, they're helping me do it. We are $15,000 away from our goal.
Wow.
Around $15,000 away from our goal.
$134,000.
Yes. And we got to thank Anne and Tom and Lisa.
Lisa Brown, thank you so much. I believe that's your second gift. And Tom and Chris and Diker, thank you. And Sarah and Kent. Speaking of Senegal, Sarah Choate served with me in Senegal when I was in the Peace Corps, and their sweet daughter Frankie was born this year, and they made their donation in honor of Frankie.
We appreciate that. So talk, Sarah, about the Atlanta opportunity.
Yeah, so we had some unique support that popped up this last week sorry for everybody else, but if you're in Atlanta and you like gelato, Meredith Ford from Cremelosa Gelateria in Decatur has offered to give anybody who supports Dig's Cocktails and Castoffs campaign a free scoop of gelato if you go before the end of the year. So if you needed more reasons.
I know, right, Meredith? So if you donate more than once, is it like one scoop per, I'd roll in really...
That is bad.
I'm just kidding. I just love gelato. It tastes so good. Sorry, Meredith. Sorry. Let me focus.
And then Metro Fresh, who we love, I mentioned earlier, this is the fourth garden that they'll have sponsored for Dig. So they are going to be making a $5,000 donation to Dig before the end of the year. And anybody who comes in and buys one of their soups, they will donate the proceeds to Dig until they raise $5,000. So if you needed an excuse to go get really yummy soup as the weather turns cooler, you should go to Metro Fresh.
Real quick before we head to another cocktail time, Susan Puckett, thank you so much for donating. Stephanie
Kaplan, Stephanie and Mike, thank you guys.
Thank you guys so much.
And Tilden, thank you. I know you're with Tony right now. You appreciate you so much. You're always so generous to Dig. Thank you so much, Tilden.
Well, raise your glasses because it's time for another cocktail from Tiffany Barrier.
Old Fashioned Sap Hound.
Hi everyone, I'm still here. It's still me, Tiffany Barrier. We're working on that second cocktail. The motivation behind this cocktail, well, it's an old fashioned. I don't need much motivation, but usually we need something sweet inside. Let's start with our great syrup from Maine, Sap Hound. If you have not tasted it yet, get into it. Give it a taste there. You can adjust your cocktail by your sweetness, but I'm just calling for a ½ ounce in there. Just gonna flip my jigger over and pour a ½ ounce right inside. I like my old fashioned to be sweet and savory. Every drop counts here. So good. And we'll take our bitters and get that open. Now I know you've seen people use bitters all the time and you think 3 or 4 drops should go like a dribble. Think of it like hot sauce, friends. I want you to dip this entire bottle over, hold it, and drop your drops. 1, 2, 3, and 4. If you like the flavor of bitters, by all means add to your pleasing and use your spoon and go ahead and taste that. Mixing the two together, sweet loves sour and sweet loves spice as well. So once you mix the two together, give that a taste. See if you like it. Wonderful. Let's get that beautiful Evan Williams inside. 2 ounces. Let's put some ice in our beaker. Friends, if you have a beaker, this is great. If not, you can build this in the glass that you're gonna drink out of. I'm gonna put a lot of ice in there to get it nice and cold. I got my favorite rocks glass. This is when you can show off with those big ice cubes. And let's give it a stir. Hopefully y'all are enjoying yourself already. Give it a nice good stir. You do not want to shake this cocktail. If you were to shake it, that good old syrup would just kind of lose its good stickiness. So giving it a good stir is perfect. Once you've given that stir, let's strain that right into our favorite glass, right over that ice. Look at that color. The smell is spot on. Every drop counts. So grateful to be able to do this with y'all. Now, I'm the drinking coach. I'm peeling with a knife, but use your veggie peeler if you have that. Just gonna peel a little bit of the skin of the orange right off. And catch that there. The skin of the orange has some great oils, just like the oil in our nose and chin. And when you give it a nice little pinch, you get some great essence of the orange that goes right on top. Just give it a squeeze there. I know you can smell that. You can drop it in or you can get rid of it. Cheers to us, our old-fashioned Sap Hound.
Another amazing cocktail from Tiffany. This is the old-fashioned Sap Hound.
That is good.
This is good.
Bill Collison, I know this one's for you. And I'm nervous that maybe you've had more than one and are at any moment gonna call Kyle and make him donate more money.
Have more in
Pretty
that
sure.
case. Have more. Have more. Have a couple of these.
And Tiffany told me, I didn't know this, Tiffany
Yeah.
told me that bitters actually come from the 1300s in West Africa, and it was designed to be a healing tonic, which I had no idea.
See, we're always learning. We're always learning with the dig. By the way, we're just under $15,000 from our goal. We're at $135,000 right now. Big thank yous going out to Bill
Collison.
Yes, and Dax Brown.
Dax, thank you.
Thank you guys. Cheers. We really do appreciate it. And keep refreshing your screen so you can see where we are and help us reach our goal of 150K today.
Yeah, I want to thank a few other people, particularly those in our watch parties out in California. I understand that the weather is horrible, so hopefully you're still able to tune in and your power hasn't gone out. I was talking to Leah, and she was saying that it's already flickered a couple times. So Ron and Leah, thank you so much for your support over the years and for hosting a watch party. Steve Levitt and David Tauster, who are celebrating together out in LA. Billy and Eric, thank you so much. Patty and Jim, who have loved to host events for DIG in the past when we've been in person. We are going to do that again. Brent and Eric, your generosity is always so appreciated. And Esther and Chris Crane, you guys know what you have done for DIG. I am so grateful to you for your support.
And we're appreciative. We really do appreciate everything, you guys. I don't know if it was too much of the old-fashioned Sap Hound, but it's all good. We're with family. I mean, that's what it is. We're with family. Everyone's enjoying themselves right now, having their host parties. We really do appreciate it. Again, as is Cocktails and Castoffs at home, and we are less than $10,000 from our goal. Less than $10,000 from our goal. We are almost there. We're almost there.
And we're going to go to one of the most fascinating countries where DIG works. This is the last country film that we're gonna go to. It's to Uganda, and I hope that you get a sense of just how vulnerable the communities we work with there. We have a lot of presence with people working with or living with disabilities. We work with people living with HIV there, and we work with the unique community called the Batwa. And you're gonna learn a little bit about what we're doing with the Batwa. Many of you who supported already know what we've been doing with the Batwa, but you might not know what we are going to be doing with the Batwa, which is very new for us. I'm really excited about it. But when you take a look at this footage, I really want you to pay attention to how dramatic the landscape is and how challenging it is to grow gardens in this space. I remember on a trip we took with Scott Carino and Will Mallory, I remember Scott saying, like, these views, which are stunning, would be worth millions in real estate. but it means that our farmers are actually in some of the most challenging places to grow. The landscape is tough, that it is prone to landslides, really long walks to water sources. There is dramatic isolation for these unique communities to access other kind of support and markets. So what we're doing there is really adaptive. I want to thank our team. Gloria and our team of local facilitators have done an incredible job adapting to these really uniquely challenging contexts. I also want to thank some of our foundation partners and just partners in general. Global Livingston Institute out in Denver, so grateful for your longtime partnership. See Beautiful and Conservation Food and Health. I also want to give a shout out to Third Creek, where we found out just yesterday they are funding DIG for another year. So, so thankful to you guys and your partnership with us in Uganda. I think we should go.
Yeah, let's go to Uganda.
Let's get there.
Another group that has been historically limited by discrimination and has struggled to succeed in agriculture are the Batwa. An indigenous community from southwestern Uganda, the Batwa historically lived inside the dense forest complex of Central Africa. Between the 1960s and 1990s, the government evicted them from their forest home to form a national park. In the name of conservation, the Batwa lost their homes, their way of life, and their cultural heritage. The Batwa were given nothing in return for their eviction and no land to relocate to. The adjustment to life outside the forest has not been easy, and the Batwa have been met with discrimination from neighboring populations, a struggle to secure land, poor education, food insecurity, and unreliable livelihoods.
Tukarya imboga, tukarya inyama n'ubuhura n'ubuki. Abana bacu imiswize yo bari kufatwa n'uburwayi.
The forest provided the Batwa with everything they needed: a home, food, livelihoods, medicine, and culture. All this literally grew from the ground and flourished around them, but the eviction severed them from their traditional way of life.
Kindu twagendaga tugaca imigozi tukayihaha tukabonamo ibihembo, ariko buno nta mugozi tukibona gw'amuhamba n'imboga. Ubu gavumenti yagezeho itwirukaho kandi ishyamba yararijyacu turituyemo. Abarimo ni abaze nkabana ni abakwereka barimo ntayo imirimo iyo barakora ni ukubona umuturage ngubu ko batwiga aribo gavumenti batwirutseho.
Since 2016, DIG has been partnering closely with the Batwa, a unique community of displaced people. Cultivating their small plots of land laced along steep hillsides, DIG has been teaching the Batwa to grow regenerative gardens as a way to feed their families, earn an income, and thrive outside the forest. Today, DIG has worked with over half the Batwa population of Uganda. They are measurably more prepared and resilient farmers than many of their neighbors, and are able to meet their immediate food needs and withstand the agricultural shocks that come with climate change.
Uruba barwita urusogo rw'amuhamba n'ubu reba ndarebute ngirute ndukote ubwo narukota ngandire kuganda murya muragihurikiza mu rukiga kuganda n'ugusonza.
In partnership with the Batwa elders and youth, DIG will document and pilot growing select indigenous forest foods in various demonstration gardens throughout the area.
Niryo ryari rigize uteri batunze na n'ubu bagize ngo nibarisubiremo n'ubu twagenda turi kwiruka kubwo nabonye gifite umugaso munini. Ubu ntaho ndi guhinga, ubu na leta nayo aducumbitse.
The Batwa have a wealth of knowledge around the biology of certain plants, their health benefits and uses. By supporting them to record this vital information and growing these forest foods in their gardens, we hope to strengthen and diversify the available foods, restore connection and dignity to their culture, and create new opportunities for them to teach others their indigenous wisdom.
gavumenti yongeye ikatugaruriza ihamba ryacu abana bacu iyi miswiza yo bari gufatwa n'uburwayi.
It's always amazing to me whenever I see the videos from Uganda, just looking at the conditions of the steep hills and mountains that they are able to farm in. Like,
Yeah.
I probably lost my balance, but
It is a little bit of vertigo. Jamie, you know what I'm talking about.
But let's talk about, where are we going now? What's the next forward step for Uganda?
I am really excited about this work that we're starting in Uganda. We are going to be, we've worked with the Batwa since 2016. We have been able to successfully get them growing gardens on their own, addressing their livelihoods, addressing their nutrition and their food security, and they have made tremendous strides in becoming really exemplary farmers, even for their neighbors. And what we're doing now is actually going back, with permission, going back into the forest with the Batwa elders to identify their indigenous forest fruits and vegetables, and we're trialing growing them outside in the gardens.
Oh, wow.
The idea that so much of rebalancing and making whole this food system is to bring in cultural foods, and the Batwa have really been disconnected from their cultural foods after their eviction. And so I'm just so excited to be able to trial growing some of these unknown crops, definitely unknown to me, outside in the gardens. It's really cool.
And again, gotta shout out our donors. We're almost there. We are under $4,000.
Oh my gosh.
$4,000 to our goal. $4,000. Want to thank Susan. Also want to thank Laura, Steve. Is it Kruger?
Steve Kruger.
Okay.
Chris and Esther Crane, thank you so much. Laura Podwells, I know you're busy managing all of the COVID things in Colorado. Thank you so much for making time to be here. Susan Lencioni, thank you so much for your gifts. I feel like we might actually do it.
You're going to do it. We're going to do it. But Sarah, can you share, sometimes it's very helpful for people to understand where their money is going. Like, every donation helps. So kind of give an example of what your donation does when you make your donation.
So we kind of look a $5,000 gift, which I realize is quite large. It's enough for us to start a new garden, a new community garden, work with a group of anywhere to 20 to 40 farmers to actually teach them how to do this for themselves together, but also for themselves in their homes and for their families. A $100 gift is enough to start a home garden for one of those farmers that will impact their entire family. So we're training one farmer, but we're impacting their whole family benefits, and in many ways their whole community benefits. I think we saw back in the Kenya film, Ms. Sharon was talking about how she had trained 5 other women in the things that she had learned from DIG. On average, for every farmer that DIG trains, they go on to train at least 3 other people. That happens on their own without added investment from you or support from DIG. That is happening organically.
Okay.
And that is, it's exciting to see when that happens, because it means we're doing something that's valuable for those people.
And just to kind of do a recap of all the countries that we've visited so far, can you share where we are with each country?
What do you mean?
Like the improvements we're making in Uganda, you just shared. Also the new improvements with Senegal and Kenya.
I mean, it's the same and it's different. It's the idea that we are adapting our work alongside those unique communities to meet them where they are. We're moving them on to new opportunities that they wouldn't have been able to access without DIG. And we're advancing them, for many, above the poverty line. It's different and unique because what is success for a Batwa farmer is different than success for a young mother in Kenya. But success is defined by them, and we're interested in getting them to where they need to be to keep going without us.
And I know you guys can help us. We are $728 away. $728 away from reaching our goal of $150,000 this year. I have a feeling we can do this in less than a minute.
I want to shout out Pam Troutman. Thank you so much. I believe you made the first donation to our campaign this year, and I am so grateful that you're bringing it in around full circle and donating again. Thank you. Brandy Thank you so much. And Tara Britton, thank you so much for your recent gift. That's amazing.
And we also want to thank our chefs. We couldn't do it without our chefs creating these amazing dishes. Also, all of our sponsors. And Tiffany making amazing drinks.
I also want to make sure I thank our team, the DIG team. I know a lot of you know me. You've seen me fumble in front of the camera or in the stage, but there is a lot of other people who make DIG really great. And I'm not going to name all of you, obviously, but I want to make sure I thank Olivia in Kenya and Gloria in Uganda and Malamine in Senegal, all of our local facilitators, many of whom have graduated through our program. So they started as farmers being trained by DIG, and now they are facilitators. I want to thank Lauren, who has been incredible as our Chief Program Officer. She is an incredible support to all of the teams and an incredible support to me. Noah Derman, love you so much. Billy Tobin, who has donated 2 years of his incredible talent to support DIG and getting better and the back end of things. So grateful to you and have so much fun working with you on a daily basis. And our board and advisory board, we have such a unique group of people who I just truly enjoy spending time with and working with. And I want to thank you guys, all of you who support DIG many year after year. Some of you are new. The DIG community is just really special. There's something just really tangible about this community of people I'm so grateful for.
It is so amazing. We are at $478 left. We can push. Let's do this last push that we can get this. We also want to thank to all of our donors. Feel free to text right now. I know you guys have been drinking. You'll figure this out tomorrow. Text 44321, 44321. Our goal is to reach over $150,000.
Oh, we've done it. We've done it.
We've made it.
We did it.
Oh, I'm going in.
Oh, the cake. We get to eat the cake now.
We get to eat the cake. Thank you guys so much. I would like to thank also the behind the scenes. You guys can't see them, but the crew, thank you guys so much for keeping us on track.
So good.
Making sure that we are where we're supposed to be. I really do appreciate that.
And now that we're there, I will say, I'm going to take this old-fashioned Sap Pound with me, and I am going to sign on to Zoom. There is, under your screen that you're watching is a link to Zoom. If you want to join us for an after party, it'll just be a way to kind of reconnect with each other. Those of you who want to say hi, ask me questions about what you saw tonight or about DIG in general, I'm going to jump onto Zoom. $151,000. Thank you so much. And the campaign will stay live for the next 2 weeks, I think. So if you want to share this video, which will turn into a recording with anyone else you think might like to get involved, please do.
We do appreciate it. And thank you guys for tuning in. The food's been amazing.
You've been amazing.
Sarah, you've been great. Really do appreciate it. They keep letting me come back, even though I don't behave all the time, but it's all good.
That's why we like you. The DIG community doesn't behave all the time. Thank you
guys so much, and check out Sarah on Zoom. We'll see you guys next year. Thank you so much for helping us reach our goal. Thank you. Bye.